Welcome everyone, I'm the Body Counter, and today I'll be discussing possible medium machine guns that could arrive with future Tides of War chapters for Battlefield 5. As of now, Battlefield currently has 3 medium machine guns, the Vickers K machine gun, or VGO as titled in-game, the MG34 and MG42. Also, as you could possibly tell by the shorter length of this prediction video, there isn't a whole lot of MMGs that could arrive with the game when compared to the number of SMGs or prototype assault rifles. Nevertheless, the ideas I cover offer fairly unique playstyles for the support class when compared to other high rate of fire MMGs we currently have. Also, stay tuned until the end of the video, as I do have a small announcement for you guys which you should know in terms of the upcoming meme-tage and other news. So now, let's begin. The M1919A6. My star-spangled viewers were probably dying for me to say that for quite a while. The M1919A6 was one of many Browning M1919 variants, but what made the A6 different was a fixed stock, lighter barrel, and carry handle, making it significantly more portable and user-friendly for Allied forces. Introduced late in 1943, the M1919A6 could fire at a rate of 600 rounds per minute, with belts of being 150 to 200 rounds, making this MMG the slower firing but higher capacity competitor to the MG34 and MG42. It would also seem appropriate for the M1919A6 to have a slightly better recoil control than the MG34, but with a longer time to ADS and switch weapons. The Type 97. Now this weapon is already a stretch, as it was usually mounted as tank hull guns and is designated as a heavy machine gun, but in reality it was lighter than other HMGs, being only a kilogram heavier than the MG42 and even came with infantry variants. The Type 97 is a Japanese machine gun which saw service during the Second Sino-Japanese War until the end of World War II. Feeding the 7.7 by 58mm from a top-loaded 20-round magazine, the Type 97 could work as another Shosho equivalent, except with a higher fire rate of 500 rounds per minute and having a further damage drop-off, with the bipod limiting its power of course. The Type 97 could also equip a 3x scope, which was about half the length of the gun itself. The Besser machine gun. A British licensed production of the tripod-mounted Czechoslovakian ZB-53 heavy machine gun. Despite being the same weight as the ZB-53, the Besser machine gun was classified as a medium machine gun for use as a tank-mounted weapon. Having a cyclic fire rate, in-game it would be appropriate to have a high rate of fire of 750 rounds per minute, feeding from 50 to 100 belts of ammunition, and having a substantially better bullet velocity than the MG34 and 42. Downsides being due to its hefty weight of 21 kilograms, the Besser would be slower to aim down sight and hipfire zoom in than other machine guns, and would have a slower reload animation in comparison to the MG34 and 42, and a slower swapping weapons animation. The MG0815. The legendary BF1 machine gun returns to Battlefield 5. The MG0815 was an ever more lightened variant of the MG08 heavy machine gun, which both saw extensive use in World War I. The MG0815 was intended to be shot from the hip, but this tactic was pretty useless when facing a line of aimed rifles. When World War II began, the MG0815 was pulled back into action by Germany. In BF5, the MG0815 would fire at a slower rate of 450 rounds per minute, but with 100 to 200 rounds in capacity, making this MMG an even more defensive weapon than others, suffering a higher TTK, but with the added security of knowing you may never need to reload mid-gunfight. The ANM2 Stinger, the Frankenstein of Frankenguns. The Stinger was an improvised piece of weaponry during the last months of the Pacific Theatre, specifically during the Battle of Iwo Jima. The ANM2 Stinger was a modified aircraft M1919 variant. Such modifications included an M1 carbine stock, BAR rear sight and bipod, and an odd trigger system. The Stinger fired at around 1,200 rounds per minute, melting anything in its sights. Coming with a capacity of 100 to 150 rounds, this firearm could be a shorter range MMG, as recoil would be significantly stronger than other medium machine guns while bipoded. Firing the Stinger for 1.5 seconds would also be enough to overheat this deadly monster. The MG15, the very same weapon we see in the Stuka's backseat gunner position. Prior to World War II and in the first year of the conflict, the MG15 saw extensive service in the Luftwaffe mounted to close air support craft, heavy fighters, and bombers. But as the years passed, Germany began to phase out the MG15 with newer and heavier machine guns for their aircraft, and in doing so, the MG15 saw service amongst the Wehrmacht and SS. Coming with a fire rate of 1,000 rounds per minute, and the MG34's double drum magazine of 75 rounds, ways to balance this medium machine gun would be a less controllable recoil, hip fire, and faster overheating compared to the MG34, and somewhat being a balance between both the MG34 and 42. And that's it for my list of medium machine guns. I was both disappointed and relieved to hear that not many MMGs would be in-game, disappointed that such a unique category of weapons have such few options that can make it to the game, but relieved that we won't see as many prone human slugs in the cover of darkness. If you waited this long for my message, thank you very much. I just wanted to say that the next video after this current one will be a channel update for you guys in terms of what will be happening over the next few months, which will be huge, and the video after my channel update will be the meme-tage. If you haven't voted on what weapon you want to see for my next meme-tage, drop your vote in the comments on my previous video. The link will be in my outro. Anyways everyone, if you did enjoy the video, leave a like to show your support for my content. If you feel I missed any other MMGs that can make it to the game, comment down below and I'll check it out. If you haven't already, join my Discord to partake in the memes and wholesome banter, subscribe to keep up to date on future videos, and as always, keep on fighting.